Archaeologists uncovered a 5,000-year-old tomb from southwest Spain that had 270,000 different beads within it. 99% of them came from marine organisms. Check this out right here. That is an acorn carved out of ivory. These shells were found oftentimes still like intertwined with textiles that showed that at least some of them were used for clothing. And amongst the females in this tomb, the ones that seem to have had the most decorated ones were the ones that were older, in their late 20s, early 30s. And I just mean like the older ones within that tomb. Don't come after me, people. These are what some of those beads looked like. The researchers did some experimental archaeology to see how long these beads would have made to take. For them, it took around 55 minutes. They assumed these people were a lot better at it, so assuming it took them around 11 minutes, it still would have taken almost 50,000 hours of labor. And based on the size of the beads, they think they would have needed about 18,000 of these actual shells. That is a full metric ton of these seashells. So again, clearly it was a lot of work. And I think it's kind of interesting to think about the fact that over 5,000 years later, a team of people took 3 weeks, 651 human hours just trying to count and describe these. Humans have been using beads for a long time, for currency, for decoration, for reasons that we have no idea. There's ostrich beads that have been traded across long distances. There's a site from 32,000 BC with a grave that has an adult male that was completely covered in 3,000 beads made out of mammoth ivory. That's pretty cool. There's also a younger kid that was living between 23,000 and 19,000 years ago that had a necklace with different bone material, but also had a tiara made out of mammoth ivory. So again, like, that's over 20,000 years ago. Think about these people and how, I don't want to say the word advanced because it's not like they had advanced civilizations or anything crazy, but like, they were people doing really cool creative stuff, living really intricate lives. These were people. Telling the tales of these ancient humans through the evidence that gets uncovered is one of my favorite things to talk about on here. So if you found that interesting, make sure you follow. I've also launched a YouTube recently, and I'm planning on making a series every 2 weeks or so where I look at some of the recent discoveries with the hope that like teachers can play it in their classrooms and show students some of the cool advancements that are happening, because as someone who was a science teacher for a long time, that's something that I feel like is really needed. So that should be coming soon. If you want to sponsor it, let me know. I'm trying to I'm substitute teaching right now. I'm trying to figure out how to make this work, and the more money I can have coming in from that stuff, the less time I can spend substitute teaching, meaning the more content I can make, the higher quality it is. You get the point.